Group says even before the war, the world was facing a food crisis as prices continue to surge and hunger is on the rise. Syngenta says it's providing seeds and crop protection products to farmers around Ukraine for food production. In Washington, I'm Amy Morris, Bloomberg Radio.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he will not vote for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. He expressed concerns about her record despite supporting her confirmation as an appeals court judge last year. The South Carolina senator's announcement today was expected after his criticisms of Jackson during her 4 days of hearings last week. And on this International Transgender Day of Visibility, it was announced Fox News has hired Caitlyn Jenner, the transgender former Olympic gold medalist, as a contributor. Global news 24 hours a day, on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Nancy Lyons.
All right, Nancy, thank you so much. So let's not forget, this is Friday's Eve, which means also we're getting ready for the monthly jobs report. We'll get that tomorrow because we're wrapping up the month of March, and then the first Friday of every month we get that monthly jobs report. So we will be all over it, and it has certainly, it's a key economic data point. We also got some other data, though. We've talked about it a little bit today when it comes to personal income and spending.
I probably looked at this story 6 or 7 times today.
Did you really?
Because it has so much great data in it. It's by Reed Pickard, who covers the economy for us here at Bloomberg News. U.S. inflation-adjusted spending falling as prices temper demand. Consumer spending declining in February on an inflation-adjusted basis. That suggests that the fastest pace of price increases in 4 decades, it's starting to temper demand.
Yeah, I mean, basic economics. My daughter's taking economics. It's her first year in college. She's loving it, but we're studying together a little bit.
that must be kind of nice for you, actually.
Well, it's really kind of funny because
go back. It's like
she's kind of understanding supply demand, and she's explaining it, and I'm like, this is our world.
Yeah, I wish I could take these classes now.
We are seeing it play out in real time. I mean, there's some nuances, no doubt about it. The purchases of goods and services adjusted for changes in prices fell 0.4% from the prior month, following a 2.1% jump in January, according to Commerce Department figures that we got earlier today. Spending on goods settling back after the prior month surge, while a decline in COVID-19 cases supported a pickup in outlays for services. This is why I think the pure data points that we start to get that aren't affected by the virus, aren't affected by things, we'll get a real truer picture of the economy.
You often remind us when we're talking about inflation, Carol, what the Fed keeps an eye on. The Federal Reserve uses personal consumption expenditures, price index. That increased 0.6% from a month earlier and 6.4% from February 2021. That's the most since 1982.
Yeah, unadjusted for inflation, spending advanced 0.2% from January. Incomes rose 0.5%. This is real stuff. What are people making? What are they spending? That gives you an idea. And if we start to see a strong trend line, can also determine maybe what's going on a little bit later in terms of the U.S. economy. All right, you're listening to Bloomberg Business. You can get an idea on spending. That's coming up next.
In case you missed our latest Business Week podcast, features Kim Rivers, CEO of TrueLeave, on the company's earnings and progress of federal pot reform at the cannabis company. Download it now at Bloomberg.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Fed's top names are on Bloomberg 1130. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly.
Inflation is the top of everyone's mind.
Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin.
Clearly, the situation in Ukraine has put inflationary pressures into the economy.
St. Louis Fed President James Bullard.
I think the Fed needs to move aggressively to keep inflation under control.
For breaking Fed news first. Stay with Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
Interactive Brokers Global Analyst helps you find new global investment opportunities to diversify your portfolio and discover undervalued companies that may have greater growth potential. IBKR Global Analyst lets you easily compare the relative value of global stocks by region, country, or industry. Find out why smart investors choose Interactive Brokers. Try IBKR Global Analyst today at ibkr.com/GA.
Are you in possession of gold, silver, or platinum? Maybe even some rare coins or old paper money that you'd like to sell? Stack's Bowers Galleries offers top dollar with immediate cash payment and is one of the largest, most trusted and ethical dealers and auctioneers of numismatic items in the U.S. for 90 years. Come visit our location on Park Avenue between 57th and 58th today for a free, no-obligation appraisal of your precious metal bullion items, rare coins, or old paper money. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell your valuable coins or precious metals, we can help. For more information or to speak to a trusted specialist, just call us at 212-582-2580. That's 212-582-2580. We'll help turn your collectibles into a generous cash payment today. Visit us in person or online at stacksbowers.com. That's STACKS Bowers.com. Stop by one of our locations today in New York City, Philadelphia, or Boston coming in 2022.
It's 4:15 on Wall Street. Time for Drive Time Traffic. We do it every 15 minutes right here on Bloomberg Radio. Ed Kalegi, we go to the Verrazano Bridge. What's going on?
Well, Tim, the ride to the Isle of Staten, anything but enchanted this afternoon. The outbound lower level, Staten Island bound, headed on over towards Staten Island. You've got a broken down car, and it has 2 lanes blocked in the lower level, and it's broken down in a way you're coming along, all of a sudden you know the car is going to stop, and then you try to get to the shoulder, and so you block the lane you were in and the lane you were trying to get into. So that's the situation. So it's a pretty heavy ride at this point. Traveling in Manhattan, it is a very heavy ride, both sides of town, all the way on up to the bridge. The party started quite early today. Outbound Holland Tunnel a half hour. 15 in for both approaches, 15 out, 10 minutes in over at the Lincoln Tunnel. The Belt Parkway still with an accident westbound at Rockaway Boulevard. That delay now 1/2 hour from Erskine Street. Bloomberg 11:30, 3-day weather. Tonight, showers and storms end overnight, low 50. Tomorrow, partly sunny and breezy and 60. Saturday, partly sunny, high 50 to 55. Sunday, clouds and sun, maybe a shower, high near 60. Right now in Central Park, mostly cloudy, 64 degrees. Get rebates from PSE&G on select Energy Star certified appliances. Visit pseg.com/rebates for more information. With the best ride in and out of the city, I'm Nick Kalegi, Bloomberg 1130. Bloomberg Business Week continues.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
From Bloomberg World headquarters, I'm Charlie Pellet. We close the books on the first quarter. It is on to the second quarter and the month of April. April Fool's Day tomorrow. Stocks tumbled into the close, wrapping up their first losing quarter since the pandemic bear market. First quarterly loss in 2 years. Treasuries also pair the worst losses in at least 5 decades. S&P down 72, a drop today of 1.6%, ending the quarter with a loss of almost 5%. The Dow today down 550, lower by 1.6%. Nasdaq down 221, a drop there of 1.5%. A lot of selling in the final few minutes of trading. 10-year yield 2.31%. The 2-year yield also 2.31%. We've got spot gold of 0.2%, 1937 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude dropping 6.2% today. WTI back above 101 a barrel, 101.13 right now, down 6.69 a barrel. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
It is indeed. All right, Charlie, thank you so much. So Academy Sports and Outdoors reported earnings earlier this week. Its stock rallied more than 9% on the news. That was on Tuesday. The results causing 5 analysts to raise their price targets on the stock by an average of 11%. Stock is up nearly 50% over the past year compared with the S&P 500, which is up around 15%. And the stock, in what was a down day today, actually eking out a 0.6% gain for the Thursday session.
Ken Hicks is Chairman, President, and CEO of Academy Sports and Outdoors, joining us on the phone from Texas. Ken, how are you?
Terrific. How are you all doing today?
We're doing really well. What's working so well for you guys?
You know, we're just fortunate in the fact that we sell fun and people want to have more fun.
Well, that's true.
So true.
But they don't necessarily want to do it. I mean, I think it's so interesting because, you know, during the pandemic, so many people started spending time outside in a different way than they had done perhaps ever. And we saw this rise in e-commerce, and you're sort of taking a different approach, doubling down on physical retail stores and saying that you're going to open 80 to 100 new stores over the next 5 years. Why are you so bullish on physical retail space?
Well, first of all, a lot of the things that we sell, people want to touch and feel, like a baseball bat or a fishing rod. Second, a lot of it's very difficult to ship. It's really tough to ship a kayak or a treadmill. And the third thing, quite frankly, we're only in 16 states right now with 259 stores, and we've got a great model. Our average store does over $25 million, and we've got, you know, a lot of the rest of the country to grow into and to fill out some of our existing markets. And at the same time, you know, we're growing our .com business and truly omni-channel, and we had a very good fourth quarter, up over 20% with our .com, where many other retailers were down in .com.
How many .com purchases were there for canoes? I just want to know.
A lot.
Okay.
Really?
But
yeah, well, it's you know, the thing is, a lot of people took up new hobbies during the pandemic, and they're sticking with them, be that fishing or hiking, camping, different sports, exercise, and we're seeing the benefit of that as people stick to their, you know, the thing that they started. Plus, you know, the trend for wellness and health has been going on for some time, and that's where we are. We sell to, you know, families, you know, the moderate to upper moderate customer, and we have a lot to offer in our stores, from, as I say, sports, camping, or just, you know, backyard grills and patio sets.
You got to be happy too that the S&P Small Cap 600 said we're going to put you in the index, right? You guys got some juice off of that one too.
Yeah, we did get a little juice as we went into some of the funds, but I think those funds are now very happy they put us in after the last week.
Hey Ken, how's your supply chain? You know, we've been, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but absolutely obsessed with the supply chains. We're asking everyone, how are you making sure that your shelves are full?
It is a challenge, and there are some categories that are just, you know, really, really difficult. One of them this year is cleats. There are just no cleats anywhere for kids who want to play baseball. But overall, we're in a much better inventory position, and we've taken a number of actions. One is we're ordering our merchandise early and working with vendors who we know that can supply. Another is we're using some of the secondary ports. We're located in Texas, and we use Galveston. We use Charleston. And so we're able to get the goods in more. And we're working with our shipping partners and trucking partners with long-term contracts to make sure that they have the capacity to give us to get the goods to the stores.
Did you say nobody has kids' cleats?
If you don't have them by now, it's going to be very difficult to get baseball cleats this year.
Wow.
What are you rethinking, if at all, about, Ken, your global supply chain in terms of where it exists?
Well, one of the things is our supply chain in particular. We're fortunate in that we're not as dependent on some of the very busy West Coast ports, but also we've got 3 distribution centers that are along the southern part of the country, and we're looking to grow more north and further east, and then ultimately west. And we're going to have to build some new distribution centers at some point to be able to service those new stores. Right now we have enough capacity, but with our growth plans, we're going to need to continue to step up our supply chain capabilities.
So if I look at your website, we've just got about 40 or 50 seconds. You know, there's lots of categories. There's backyard, there's recreation, there's health, fitness, men's, women's, kids. Which is your busiest vertical where you're seeing the most growth?
Team sports, footwear, and apparel right now.
And where are you not seeing growth?
In some of the fitness categories, you know, those are a little bit more challenged. But we expect some of the categories as the weather gets warmer, like fishing and our backyard and pools, that should start to take off again.
Well, I just love that people are online ordering canoes. I bought a huge tub online years ago. You can
What
ship
do you mean
it.
a tub? Like a bathtub?
Yeah, like you can ship anything. Ken, always love talking with you. Get some great insight on what consumers are up to. Ken Hicks is Chairman, President, and CEO of Academy Sports and Outdoors. As I mentioned, their stock over the past year has been way outperforming the S&P 500, up about 50% in that time frame. S&P just up around 15%.
Good luck if you're looking for cleats.
I know. Too late, folks. Find another sport. This is Bloomberg.
Join Brian Curtis and Doug Krisner at 6 p.m. Wall Street time for Bloomberg Daybreak Asia. Tonight's guests include Brett Ewing, Chief Market Strategist at First Franklin, with a preview of Friday's jobs report. That's Daybreak Asia tonight at 6 on Bloomberg Radio.
Breaking news first. War in Ukraine.
Russia is promising to cut back military operations near two key cities in Ukraine.
Ukraine's president and others caution that the commitments could merely be bluster.
It looks like Vladimir Putin may not be getting accurate information on the war.
If the Russians were really serious about de-escalating, well, then send them home. And that's not what they're doing, at least not yet.
For the latest headlines and the effect on the market, stay with Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
Dear Calvary Hospital, it was April at the height of the pandemic. I was alone caring for my dying mom. If I brought her to a hospital, I couldn't stay with her, and every doctor and nurse simply refused to come into our house. That is until Calvary Hospice came and rescued us. Nurse Kelly immediately assessed Mom and guided me through every step on bringing her back to being comfortable and pain-free, physically and mentally. She was accessible 24/7 as we FaceTimed day and night. I was never concerned about Mom's safety. 8 days later, Mom passed on with dignity and grace, thanks to an angel called Nurse Kelly and a miraculous place called Calvary. Sincerely, Angela Calabrese.
This is Frank Calamari, President of Calvary Hospital. During this time, be assured that Calvary continues to provide the safest and healthiest environment for our staff, our patients, and their families.
When you subscribe to Bloomberg, you will get more than news. You will get inspiration to disrupt the status quo. You will get insight into limitless possibilities. You will get ideas to feed your ambition. You will discover new solutions and turn data into action. So before you invent, pioneer, disrupt. Before you change the world, Bloomberg. Learn more at Bloomberg.com/youwill.
Cyber technology and environmental engineering are two of the most complex problems facing mankind today. New Jersey Institute of Technology and Ben-Gurion University of Israel are joining forces to establish the Institute for Future Technologies. Both universities share a dedication and commitment to solving some of the world's global challenges. The collaboration includes research and development, joint degree programs, innovation and entrepreneurship, and student exchange experiences. Through this partnership, BGU and NJIT will create new technologies and technologists who will have a major impact on everyday life. Craig Gottsman, Dean of NJIT's Yingwu College of Computing, noted,
"The global challenges of the past few years have proven that computing and cyber technologies are now more important than ever before."
For more information about the Institute for Future Technologies, STEM education, and real-world innovation, visit futuretechnologies.njit.edu.
Everyone seems to be going electric, and Hudson Hyundai has a huge selection of all new electric Hyundais in stock for you. Tier 1 customers can drive a new car with just $68 down, like a new all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5, or the all-new electric Hyundai Kona, only $68 down. Even a new Genesis GV70 or Genesis GV80, just $68 down. That's it. A brand new Hyundai or Genesis, only $68 down. Drive a new car home today. Call 800-599-0782. That's 800-599-0782. And all new Hyundais and Genesis come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Call Hudson Hyundai at 800-599-0782. That's 800-599-0782. Or visit us online at HudsonHyundai.com. Payments will vary. Credit severity affects approval. See dealer for details.
4:29 on Wall Street. Time for Drive Time Traffic. We do it every 15 minutes right here on Bloomberg Radio. Ed Kalegi, we are in New Jersey, Route 3. What's going on?
There is an accident 3 westbound, Tim. This is in Clifton at Main Avenue. It's over on the left shoulder, but it's enough to cause a delay of nearly 15 minutes coming over from Route 17. Eastbound traffic will be slow as well. In Patterson, 20 northbound coming in by Route 80, an accident knocks out the left lane. Delays from 46. Outbound.